Hello, everyone. Welcome to Follow the Money Daily, brought to you by Nairametrics. My name is Ugodre, and this is my podcast for today. Today being the 17th of July, 2024. All right, so I got a question from someone and this week, and I thought that maybe it was good to make a podcast on this question. Pretty interesting, and question was very simple, really. This person has about 50 million naira and was caught between investing that money in treasury bills or buying dollars, and wanted to sort my opinion. Uh, does he buy treasury bills or does he buy dollars? Or maybe he doesn't even buy stocks. So, I mean, I thought for a bit, and as usual, before you answer questions like this, you also got to ask a few questions. So, like, what do you want to do with the money? Like, do you really need this money like anytime soon, or do you need it sometime later? And then his response was like, I don't need it anytime soon. But it's not like it's something I want to stash away for a long time. So I was like, okay, so what's your hold period? And like, 6 months to a year. Okay, 6 months to a year. A lot can happen within 6 months and a year. So I said, so why treasury bills or dollars? So, well, I just wanted a liquid investment, and that's what he said. He didn't want anything like that was going to be difficult to unlock. So I said, okay, that makes it easy. And then I said, look, it depends on what you're looking at. And then I looked at the numbers. So let's look at the numbers together. If you had 50 million naira today and you wanted to invest it in treasury bills, which is fixed income security, as you all know, it's pretty much risk free. Nothing would happen to your money. If you invested in treasury bills today at, let's say, 26% interest rate, that's basically the average for 1 year treasury bills. They're going to pay you 13 million naira upfront. And so if you sort of like check the real rate, it comes to maybe about 28, 29%. And so you're getting, anyway, 13 million plus the 50 million, that's 63 million. Now, that 13 million, you can even reinvest it again in something else and can get you something else. So that's why the real yield is usually higher than that. But let's even leave that aside. Let's assume you get the 30 million and you blew it. So you've basically had 30 million plus your 50 million, which will come back to you next year. And then you get 63 million. Okay, so let's just pack that aside. Now, if you were to change the 50 million naira to dollars and don't even invest the dollars at all into anything, exchange rates as at 16th of July was 1576 official rate. And these days, not much difference between official and black market rate. And so that would get you about $31,725.89. So let's just say $31,726. And so if you keep that money for 1 year, it's always just going to remain $31,725 or $26. But that's not really how it works, right? Because I think that a lot of people expect, or some people expect, the exchange rate to depreciate. And it could depreciate. I recall I was one of my TV interviews where I said that if we don't get in like $10 million by June, then it could. I was always going to bet against the naira, and I'm not sure we got $10 million by June. So I kind of feel like we might see some pressures on the exchange rate, especially as the American election draws closer, and a lot of people expect Trump to win. So that could also result in a much stronger dollar in the coming months. And of course, it's not like Nigeria. We seem to be exporting a lot more crude. Not really sure where our dollar is going to come from. We've seen some stability right now, but Not really sure where that dollar is going to come from. So let's even assume that the exchange rate depreciates by 21%, and that means that we're going from about 157 to 2,000 naira. God forbid, but I mean, let's just assume. Then that, that 50 million by the time you convert it in a year. So I'm saying the exchange rate depreciates by 21% in a year. That 50 million converts to, if you convert it back to naira, you're going to be getting the same 63 million anyway, 63.4 million. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. And but there's really no money else you had to spend for that 1 year, so you've just basically kept that money in the cooler. But if you did decide to maybe invest that $31,000 in some kind of fixed income investment in dollars that is maybe risk free, I would think that you probably get maybe 5% at the most return, and that could mean that your dollars is probably $33,000. So if you look at $33,000 and you maybe multiply it by the same 2,000 naira, then that gives you 66 million. So again, much higher than the 63 million that you get without assuming that you didn't reinvest the 30 million. So my response was pretty simple. I said, look, if you're very gloomy about Nigerian economy, which looks like it's gloomy at the moment, I think the safe bet might just be to get your dollars, right? Because even at the 50 million, it's still at risk to inflation, right? So what 50 million can buy now, it might not be able to buy next year, even though you've gotten a 30 million naira, return on it. Another school of thought was, why don't you just split the money into two, have one in dollars and have one in, have an investment in dollars and then have an investment in naira. I'm not sure. I mean, you might want to do that. I mean, just it's all part of diversifying your portfolio and hedging, so you can keep some of that money in dollars just in case, so that at least you're sort of protected, and then you keep the rest in naira, so at least you have some money to spend while you have the rest of that money in there. And of course, even if you have your naira and treasury bills, you can always rediscount it. You can basically get your money back, and then you pay down. They just take away the interest part of the interest you've already taken. They take it off you. So that is also something that you can do. And then even your dollars as well. If you think that maybe the exchange rate looks like it's going to be stronger, then you can always sell your dollars for naira. So you can do a mix and match as well. So but basically, my preference would always be to have a dollar investment at the moment, because it looks like we're seeing a stronger dollar. But don't just keep your dollar there. You gotta make it earn for you. So make it earn for you, and then for the second option would be to have a hybrid of a dollar investment and a naira investment, and then the last option would be maybe to just go full blown treasury bills. So that's what I would suggest. But if you're somebody who's not really keen on dollar or holding dollars, or you're afraid of dollars, or maybe you don't even have access to buy the dollars, then just go straight up treasury bills. Still a good investment at 26%. I don't think anything can beat that in terms of a risk-free investment at the moment. And this is a one in a lifetime. I mean, that might be a stretch, but nearly one in a lifetime, because it doesn't happen all the time where you see treasury bills this high. Yeah, so that is Follow the Money for today. I hope that you found something useful. Again, the question was whether to buy treasury bills or dollars. So I already told you what I think. So what do you think? It'd be great to hear from you. Until we do this again, do have a profitable day ahead. Bye.